so I'm going to go over 4 points in terms of why tenure should not be changed, should not be revised. First of all, tenure is not the problem. Second of all, tenure does not make it too hard to fire teachers, and the protections in place are there for a reason. The probationary period is long enough and does not need to be revised. And lastly, go over the importance of tenure and why it needs to stay in place as it is. So first of all, tenure is not the problem. Tenure is only as effective as the people in charge of it, and any failures in it are the responsibility of people who are overseeing the process. The Louisiana Federation of Teachers says that evidence of effectiveness demonstrated over a 3-year period lies at the heart of the tenure process. That process is sound, but is only as good as the people charged with the responsibility of carrying it out. During the 30-year probationary period, administrators have ample opportunity to closely monitor and evaluate the teachers' performance. Diligence is required on the part of principals and of supervisors. In that probationary period, they should be monitored and they should be looked at so that we don't have problems arising when they are given tenure. The problem is not with the policy. Furthermore, teachers need to be mentored into the system of teaching, and they need to have a helping hand to guide them into that teaching status. The New York Daily Times says that the DOE took a step in the right direction a few years back when it embraced California standards for teaching profession, when an enlightened system of protocols that installs a developmental view of teaching that gives a particular attention to the early years of the teacher's career, supporting and mentoring and assessing assessment during the early years of teaching are essential to the beginning teachers and development and success of the profession. Now, New York does not have this policy, and in response to that, the New York Daily Times also said that without mentoring being a priority, the induction process for new teachers has actually gotten worse and not better. And so that's going to create these problems that they're having with teachers. So secondly, tenure makes it too hard to fire teachers, is what my opponents claim. But the process for firing teachers is actually effective. Permanent teachers shall not be removed from office except upon a written and signed charges with willful neglect of duty or incompetency, dishonesty, immorality, or of being a member or contributing to any group, organization, movement, or corporation that is by law or injunction prohibited from operating in the state of Louisiana. This is from the Louisiana Federation of Teachers. This is particularly to Louisiana, but many of the states have similar precedents put in. And then so they go on to say, and then if only is found guilty after a hearing by the school board of the parish or city, as the case may be, the law further spells out that the procedure for such a hearing, and they have the right to challenge that dismissal. And so Breck also put in, he's a teacher in the Chicago State public school system, that most teachers have immediate dismissals for causes such as child abuse, theft, conviction of major crimes, as well as teaching incompetence. So if teachers are incompetent, there is immediate action that can be taken. So the firing process does not need to be changed. And mainly what tenure does is provide due process for these teachers. So that UFT president of Randy Weingart, the UFT Teachers Union, said that tenure does not equal a lifetime job security, but only guarantees that due process when the administrator wants to discipline the staff. And that, so, I mean, this is really providing due process so that they can't be fired without reason, without cause. All right, so because they are subject to a lot of pressures that they need to be protected from. Such as pressure from their research or controversial ideas that they may present. One such man was at Berkeley State and was actually denied tenure because of his research and controversial ideas, so they are put under political scrutiny. He was actually approved by his own department faculty, outside expert reviewers, and a man named Merchant, who was demonstrators who were out there protesting this. The chair and the dean both approved the tenure, as did a special faculty and HOC review committee in a 5-0 vote. But it was overturned because the committee who had the final say on him did not distinguish that they had ulterior motives because some of the people did not approve of his research. And they actually cited some of his serious challenges towards his research as part of why they did not grant him tenure. They're also given pressure from parents to give good grades, and they need to be protected from that, because those types of things can put a lot of pressure on administration to fire that teacher so they don't have to deal with those kinds of issues. So, Brad, a teacher in the Chicago School District, said in honors chemistry, I gave a student a D because he did not make up his missing laboratory work. Parents of the students attempted to get me fired 4 times to do with this event, but because of tenure protections, did not affect his job. And furthermore, the same teacher says that he has also generated a discussion on the origin of life, mentioning evolution as one possibility to stimulate the honor students' perspectives at the end of the class one day. The brother of one student in the class, a minister, tried to get me fired a number of times, as well as simply talking about the origin of life. Were I not tenured, I could have possibly released in order to lessen the parental pressure on the principal. So my third point is that probationary period does not need to be longer. So first of all, it is not automatic after a certain amount of years. So Louisiana Federation of Teachers states that tenure is granted in Louisiana only after a rigorous process that includes certification, mentoring, and evaluation by local administrators. It is not automatic only after all requirements have successfully been met. It's almost as if you're saying a college degree automatically conferred after 4 years. So, and the process is rigorous. They can be evaluated in over 20 categories, including classroom management, lesson planning, presentation skills and people engagement, and student skills and knowledge. So my last point is why tenure is so important for the teachers. It is, for Penn State, they actually grant different research projects and different things so that they can inspire their tenure teachers or teachers to get tenure. And it exists to protect educators from political and personal motives. So tenure needs to stay.